Well, Anthony, I mean, I have to ask you about the changes that have taken place this morning. But I mean, you're such a veteran. This is not even the first time that something like this has happened this year. But I do got to ask the question: have you been kind of adjusting to everything that has happened this morning?
There's really no adjustment for me. I had no idea. I woke up and was getting ready to finish the last part of my weight cut, and there was a bunch of text messages kept coming in. It was like, "Hey, are you stepping in for the main event? Are you the main event?" And I had no idea what they were talking about. Then I went on Twitter, which is where I get most of my news, and seen that Curtis Blades was out, and I assumed that they were going to ask me. And eventually they did, and it wasn't a big deal to me. I wanted 5 rounds, and that was the only real contingency.
Why did you want 5 rounds?
Well, first I think 5 rounds favors me, and I think that I think that I owe the fans, the UFC, and myself the opportunity to prove that I fixed a lot of the stuff that I had going on in my past couple fights. I've been through a lot, made a lot of changes. I feel really, really good. I've had a really great week. I'm moving around really light and free, and I don't know. I just, if it's the main event, I want it to be real.
Yeah, it's like you said, the adjustments aren't necessarily dealing with a main event. You're very used to that. But you are in a different situation, I think, coming into this fight, just in terms of, I think people are questioning your mindset for the first time, maybe in your career. I mean, for the entirety of your career, we've always said, for better or worse, regardless of anything else that's happening, Anthony Smith's mind will be there. He wants to be there, And now, you've addressed that in the media this week, that there were some questions that you needed to answer about, moving forward. What were those questions, and what were the answers you came to?
There was a lot of questions. It's not about the fight. I love fighting. It's the life that surrounds fighting. It's the sacrifices. It's the pain. It's a really painful sport, and it's emotionally, it's mental, it's physical. And I just went out in the desert and just made sure that this is what I still wanted to do. I thought it was, but if you never sit down by yourself in the middle of nowhere with no outside, influences. Because it's one thing, like when you're with your coaches and you're trying to figure it out, of course they're always going to tell you because they believe in you. But you gotta believe in yourself, and that's what it comes down to. I don't want to be some self-help guy or something, but I just had to figure that out for myself and make sure this is still what I wanted, and why do I still want it. And I came to a lot of conclusions that I was really happy about. I employed some people that are professionals at helping people kind of organize their brains, and it's been really, really good for me.
Do you feel like sitting in this chair right now, you want to be here, and maybe a way that perhaps you didn't want to be here in your last 2 fights?
I think so. And again, it goes back to, I always want to fight. It's sometimes it's the stuff that surrounds it. And it's just sometimes it gets heavy. I had a lot on my plate. And at some point I had to realize that, like, I do have limitations and I can't do it all. And that helped a lot. So, fighting kind of became that last heavy thing on my shoulders that kind of was just making me struggle a little bit. But I've been really enjoying this week. I've been having a lot of fun. And there's even been some adversity this week, like 2 of my corners tested positive for COVID before we left. Fortunately, I was in Denver training, and they're in Omaha, so I wasn't exposed. But this is the first time they haven't been in my corner since 2008. So, fortunately, I've been able to get those, I don't know, maybe those skills and a better mindset to deal with that kind of stuff.
Well, I think we're a little bit surprised to see you so quickly after your last fight. Certainly surprised to see you in the main event, but maybe we shouldn't be, since that's a spot that you've taken a few times in 2020. Very much looking forward to the fight, Anthony. Best of luck.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.